Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Artie with CoinCasso, and this is Bitcoin Today, a show where we talk about everything cryptocurrency to keep you guys up to date and informed on everything going on in the crypto space. In today's video, we talk about how Telegram agrees to pay $18.5 million in SEC lawsuit, AMD's new blockchain project that they're not talking about, where they need 20,000 GPUs. And the most important piece of news for today, $1 billion worth of options expiring today. We also go over the current top cryptocurrency prices as well as a brief analysis on Bitcoin to see where it's going to go in the future. Roll the intro. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, June 26th. Thank you so much for joining me day in and day out. And if you're new here and you like what you see, consider subscribing down below and ticking the notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. And as always, the show is sponsored by the CoinCasso Cryptocurrency Exchange. So if you're looking for a place to trade crypto, sign up in the link in the description below because it helps me out and it helps out the channel. And it's a great place to buy and trade cryptocurrencies. Okay, current cryptocurrency prices, rapid fire style. Bitcoin is at $9,258, up 1.68%. Ethereum, $232.67, up 1.3%. EOS, $2.48, up 0.8%. Litecoin, $42.42, up 0.9%, and XRP, 0.182620, up 1.2%. Bitcoin volume for the day was much lower than the 20 billion average, 16.9 billion in the last 24 hours. Now, this section is usually reserved for my Bitcoin analysis looking at TradingView. Let's jump into the chart for just a second to show you that it's still trading sideways after its quick drop down. As you can see here, we went from 9,600 all the way down below 9,000 to $8,977. And right now it's trading between 9,200 and 9,300. But no amount of technical analysis in the world will actually prepare me for what's going to happen today on Friday. And that is $1 billion worth of futures being liquidated. Basically, a lot of people were betting on the fact that Bitcoin was going to drop down dramatically. It failed to do so, and even if it dropped down to 7,900, it still wouldn't save those future positions. So today, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin futures will expire, causing the price to dramatically go in any direction. I'm thinking it might be up, but you never know. Now on to the news. Telegram has been in a lawsuit with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, for several months now. They built this new project they called the TON, or TON, and offered that out as a token in an ICO. The SEC is very regulated with ICOs now, and they determined that it was actually a security, meaning that investors could purchase this token and invest in equity in the company. Telegram disagreed with the SEC's position, and they've been in a lawsuit ever since. The SEC finally shut down their project and forced them to return the money to all investors. Now, this article is titled, "Telegram Agrees to Pay $18.5 Million in Penalties in the SEC Settlement Over Failed TON Offering." The settlement, which was reached on June 11th and effectively ending a 6-month court fight with the agency, also indicates the message platform will be responsible for a $1.22 billion disgorgement that is offset by $1.19 billion paid as a termination amounts to investors' purchase agreements and the amount that some investors loaned to Telegram earlier this year. Telegram has 30 days to pay the SEC penalty and up to 4 years to pay back investors under the settlement. Now, this type of news for any company is horrible, and if Telegram were actually a publicly traded stock, the price would crash down, but thankfully they are not. But this is the reason they are in this whole mess. They tried to get around an IPO, which would get them into the stock exchange, and do an ICO to get investors to buy their tokens to have money to actually build new projects. That's what happens when you try to go around the system. There are penalties, and that penalty is $18.5 million in fees, plus you got to return all the money you just stole from people. Next up in the news, AMD. If you don't know what AMD is, they make graphics cards for high-end computers and low-end computers and all computers. This article is titled, "AMD-Backed Blockchain Project Amassed 20,000 GPUs but won't say why." A joint data center venture between Consensus Chip and the maker of AMD has so far raised $20 million to triple its GPU capacity but won't exactly say what it's for. Basically, a quick rundown, they're working on a blockchain project many GPUs put together can actually offer a nice substantial amount of computing power to process this blockchain. So we see where their money's going. We don't know what's in their plan, but we know something is up with AMD. So keep an eye out for AMD in the future, maybe invest in AMD stock, and you might get some nice profits off your return. And the most important piece of news for today, even $7,900 Bitcoin won't help bears ahead of the $1 billion Bitcoin options expiration. This Friday, Bitcoin futures and options expiry is causing anxiety and excitement amongst traders as the price has oscillated with no clear trend in the past 30 days. There have been moments of euphoria as the price briefly broke $10,000 earlier this month, but recently emotions have become slightly bearish in the market, dropping below $9,000 on Wednesday night. In the open interest world, the numbers are quite staggering. Currently, the total Bitcoin futures open interest is over 3.8 billion, while options market open interest is just reached an all-time high at 1.7 billion, meaning all the people that betted that the price of Bitcoin was going to drop down to $3,000 are now screwed because their options are expiring today. This is why I didn't do my Bitcoin analysis. Let's see what happens later today, and I will do a full recap of everything back on Monday. So have an amazing weekend. Make sure to leave a like on your way out, and we will see you next week.